Another one here. For a young person in Portugal, it is difficult to accept the normalization of violence because it's not our environment. We believe this civilization. Why do you accept this as normal? Look, sometimes to get peace, you need to be violent. Okay. If your enemy is not willing to sit with you and have a proper discussion, you need to take measures that are not always pretty. This is not to defend or to endorse the killing of innocent people. I think that's absolutely dreadful, and I would never applaud that. Okay, but sometimes before you are wiped out, you need to just be faster. I think this is common sense. I know that we live in a very soft society. In this day and age, everyone thinks twice before saying things that may hurt or even be tough. But that's the reality. If look now, you are in Portugal. Think that, for instance, Morocco. Okay, think that Morocco is building a nuclear facility, and they have in their constitution the eradication of the Portuguese nation. Okay, what would you expect? Okay, what would you expect the Portuguese government to do in that specific circumstance? Okay, yeah, I'm going to say it again. Imagine the Moroccans or the Spanish. I'm just saying a neighbor country. Okay, they are open about your elimination. Okay, including the citizens, not just trying to wipe out the landscape, but also exterminating the Portuguese population. If there is a country with that intent and they're open and bragging about and like the case in Iran, they even have a plaque saying how was it, countdown for the end of the Jewish nation. What would you expect the authorities to do? What would you expect your government to put in place? Perhaps military action is in this situation. It's not only an option, but it's absolutely crucial. Okay, it's not ideal. Okay, I'm all for peace, but in some situations, this is necessary. Like Israel cannot live with a nuclear Iran, the same way that South Korea shouldn't live side by side with a nation that is thirsty to wipe out the South Koreans. And now it's too late. The Americans or any other nation, they cannot just visit North Korea and try to turn it upside down because they own nuclear weapons. So there's not much we can do. So we don't want any country to be in a situation where they can be gone from one day to another. And it's not just about the Israelis. Like I'm also taking consideration the Iranians who are fed up, exhausted, and they had enough of a regime that is just mistreating, not mistreating is a very soft word, that is killing citizens in a day-to-day basis. Okay, there are records of now saying that I don't remember the exact number, but it's a good few thousands of Iranians who were killed at the hands of the Iranian regime. So this is not just about the Israelis. And as I said a few sessions ago, I was willing to have this trip cancelled if that would mean the return of democracy to the Iranians, because I can come back here, but the Iranians cannot wait anymore, right? There's one here. If you want peace, prepare for war. Absolutely. Sometimes war is on the way to get peace. It shouldn't be like this, but there are situations where we should, and not only we have to adopt measures that are not the most desirable. We need to be realistic. One thing is being prepared, and another is acting and provoking. I cannot read the whole comment. Provoking and that's the rule. But that's not what Israelis are doing. If you look back, Israel hasn't ever started a war. Okay, all the wars where Israel was involved was always a response and never something that Israel just started because they were bored and didn't know what to do with themselves. The only thing is, Israel cannot afford to lose a war, because if they lose a war, that's the end of the country, and we don't want that. And when I say we don't want that, it's not just it's not just Israel. It's us. Remember that most of us, we are evolving from Israeli technology, including now. The Android was developed in Israel. I using Android now to, no, actually not now, because I'm using an iPhone, but I have a separate phone which is Android, just to be factual, and it's helping us to have this conversation. Maybe some of you are also using Israeli technology. So if you are upset with that, you can just throw your phone off the window and go back to Stone Age. I'm only saying the genocide you are committing. I would like to ask that person, okay, to define genocide. And maybe don't Google it, or go on ChatGPT. What is genocide? Just be mindful of the words you are using, because maybe you just listen that on the radio, or on the, or saw it on social media, and you are just echoing. Define genocide for me, and then we can have a proper conversation, because I'm tired of slogans and big words that mean nothing when it comes to reality. Okay, going back to my own trip. So yeah, I was blessed to spend time with people that I consider now my friends, although we are living very far from each other. But I think in this day and age, friendship is not measured by the times we meet in person, but by the times we interact, even if we use technology. That's another podcast for another time. I had a chance to go back to the Yad Vashem, where I've been only once. I think in my second time in this country, but my girlfriend hasn't had a chance to see it, and I really recommend it. I think it's a huge reminder of the horrors of the Holocaust, and in this day and age where anti-Semitism is more and more an issue, I think we all should look back and see that things can go wrong in a very, very bad, bad way. It's heavy. It's not a place where you 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 you'll be smiling and your heart will be melted. It's not that. It's more of a lesson. So if you are willing to see everything, but expand your horizons, Yad Vashem is a place to go. And as a matter of fact, for that tour, that yes, I'm going to promote it here. The I've added I think an afternoon in the Yad Vashem. Um, it's an absolute must. If and I would say for those who, for some reason, cannot make it to Israel in the next few months, or in the near future, if you have a Holocaust museum near you, make sure to visit